So let's get straight into it. The three common marketing problems in construction are expectations,
Consistency.
and promoting benefits over features.
We get a lot of, we speak with people on a regular basis, and we get very similar questions and concerns and so forth. And one thing we try and sort of satisfy or sort of relax people is on their expectation, and
That's number one. I think it's important to tell people it's number one.
And because sometimes there's this expectation or this sort of belief that there's this marketing wizardry, and even today there's still sort of a little bit of mystique around the whole area of marketing, which is strange in a way, but it happens. And to make sure that people understand there is really no sort of quick fix. No, we're not magicians, but we're good at what we do, and so it does take time to get your marketing in action. And it also depends very much so on your client and the window of opportunity that for your product or your service to land in their mind or resonate with them. An architect, for example, could be working on many projects, many products, and if you're selling drainage, for example, and that architect's working on the interior side of a project, and you send him an email about drainage, he's unlikely to take notice other than drip feed your message in. And equally, the window of opportunity mentioned is that if he is detailing drainage that day and your email comes through, that window's got to be open where he's basically naffed off with Smith's drainage down the road, and he's ready to take that change. And that window doesn't come around every day, every week. It could be 6 months down the line. It could, certainly within construction, it could be 12, 18 months before he's ready to change. So the key is obviously getting your planning and managing that expectation.
Yeah, it's funny, because we have quite a few conversations, don't we, where people say, "Oh yeah, we did an email shot campaign, or we did this," and it's just a single activity. And then the amount of times they say, "Oh, well, we didn't get anything from it." Well, it's such a congested place, market at the moment. Probably very little will happen, from one activity, will it? So it's just, like Chris said, it just needs that expectation. Actually, it's a long-term campaign. Think of it, right, this time in 12 months' time, we want to kind of grow awareness that way. It's not going to be an overnight success. These things never are, apart from Chris's singing career. But no, it's not. It takes time to kind of influence the marketplace, and it's never, "Oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, and then we're going to get X amount of leads or whatever." It's just, it's all about the expectations of long-term awareness, really. Which kind of takes us on to point 2, doesn't it? Sorry, did the old piece there. Consistency.
My singing career.
Well,
can I sing now?
Yes. I think we should have a short interlude now. I really want to hear you sing. Oh man. Some say you're like a bald Michael Bolton. What do you reckon?
A bald Michael Bolton before he lost his hair.
But yeah, it takes us on to nicely to point 2, which is consistency. So I think we'd go as far as to say consistency is probably the most important thing in any marketing. You can do social media, you can do your website's SEO, you can send out emails, but if you just kind of do them as like one-offs or quite every so often, you're not kind of building that momentum, you're not kind of getting through to the right people, and not kind of building those relationships, which ultimately is what it's all about with marketing, and you need that level of consistency to actually make it work. And it's that consistent on a long-term basis that ultimately makes it a success or not.
It's that window of opportunity again. Obviously, drip feeding these messages in. We talk about social, we talk about SEO, we talk about content and email marketing. These are all sort of touch points over time. And that window of opportunity to mention comes further down the line. He's gone. He's gone. So it's that window of opportunity that doesn't always come around, and consistency. And I often, when I'm talking to clients, use the analogy of a company car, of a car that when I worked, well, when I didn't have time, 54.
When you had a proper job.
When I had a proper job and didn't do videos or sing. I had a company car and it was leased for 3 years. So in the first year of the lease, I might receive or might see an advert on TV for BMW, and although I'll be aware of the advert, I won't make any action at that point because it's year 1 of the lease. Year 2 comes around, still I might get an email from BMW saying about the 3 Series, and again my interest there, but no action because that window of opportunity's not there. I'm in the lease, it's 3 years. And then year 3, when the lease is coming for renewal, I might get a direct mailer through the front door at home asking me to come and test drive at the local garage, and bingo, that's the point of action that I take. The window of opportunity is open. I take that, and that's the action point. And that's very similar, again, to the construction industry and the construction industry process, from planning to contractors appointed and subcontractors and on site and so forth. It's about the consistency. We go back to the consistency and getting your message over time, because you just don't know when that window of opportunity is going to arise. And like we said, consistency is,
say it again,
by far the biggest thing with any marketing. And again, with clients, we often trying to get the buy-in from the client about the whole process, and the key thing is really seeing it as an integral part of your business. The marketing, it's like doing your account, it's like getting a product out of the door. It's not something you can turn off and on. See it as an activity that's done every day, every week, every month, every year, and part of your business activities, and that way you'll get the best of your marketing.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult because, ultimately you've got a business to run, and we know that, but there are certain things you can perhaps do sometimes. You can block out, if you can block out a couple of hours, create a few emails, and then you can kind of schedule them out. You can kind of schedule out like social media posts, and again, there's software you can use to kind of schedule them out. It's not ideal because obviously in a perfect world, you'd kind of be around there to kind of engage with any comments or anything like that. But it's better than nothing. So there are things you can do, aren't there, to kind of get away, get around and try and be a bit more consistent. Other than that, it is just trying blocking out, the same time every week. Kind of whatever works for you and your business. But we get it. It is hard to be consistent, but ultimately that's what.
I do
makes it a success. What?
I'd use an agency like
no way. No. Bunch of losers. So, number 3. This one, I always think it's particularly relevant in construction, and it's promoting benefits and not features. So, I used to see it loads of times in trade magazines and this and that, where there's a product there and all the text on the page, but it's and it always used to kind of shout out the product's features, but ultimately you should be promoting, communicating the benefits. You should be shouting out how, for example, a glass balustrade, how it solves the problems for example, an architect. So you don't need to necessarily say, oh, it's got 10 mil toughened glass thickness, whatever. You need to be saying, right, by using our product, it's going to comply with UK building regs. You're going to have aesthetically a nice product to a building, that kind of thing. So think about how your products solve a problem rather than the actual features, because it sounds a bit harsh, but nobody cares about features. They care about solving problems that they've got. Decisions are made based on emotion, and then it's kind of justified with logic. So if somebody was to see your website, whatever, then it's kind of how he makes them feel. So does it feel? It makes them reassured, confident, that kind of thing. So yeah, definitely go for the benefits over the features. For the word then, and yeah, so that's it. Three common questions and issues that we come up against a lot, don't we?
Yes.
Thanks.